Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. In this week's video, we'll be talking about the Kpmg virtual internship part 3, which is the final part. Yes guys, we have finally come to the end of the virtual internship. In this video, we'll be talking about the PowerPoint presentation which was left over from the last video, and to the most exciting part, we'll be also talking about building dashboards. Yes, dashboards is task 3 for our Kpmg virtual internships, and we'll be using Google Data Studios to create interactive dashboards. Alright guys, without further ado, let's get started with today's video. So what I've done is I've already created the PowerPoint presentation. I'm just going to quickly go through the PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to talk about what are the things I've included in the PowerPoint presentation. So this template was given to us by the Kpmg team, so just download it from the portal. The first slide is basically the agenda. The first part is the introduction. Now in the introduction, what I've done is just given a brief introduction of what we'll be talking about in this presentation. So I've outlined the main problems that the company is facing, and I've also outlined the approach for my data analysis. Now we get on to the data exploration part of it. The first step that I made sure that I include in this PowerPoint presentation is data quality assessment. What I've done is just built a summary table which highlights the main data quality issue. The first part of the data exploration I've done is spoken about the data insights that were gathered. So the first data insight I'm going to be mentioning in my PowerPoint presentation is the bike related purchases over the last 3 years. Now this is based on gender. The second insight that I touched up upon was the industry contribution, which contributes to the maximum profit and also to the bike related purchases. So the top 3 industry sectors we can highlight from here is your financial services, your health, and also your manufacturing. Now these cumulatively bring just $1.5 million in revenue for the business. So these are the 3 industry sectors we might also focus on. Then I also wanted to look at the profit. This was based upon the wealth segment, and then I grouped them in different age clusters. Lastly, I wanted to also look at the number of cars owned in each state. So as we can see, NSW, QLD, and BIC are the top 3 states. Great. Now onto the model development part of it. This was quite exciting. Now in the Excel sheet I did use Great. Now to the model development part of it. So in the Excel sheet, I did do RFM analysis, which is one of the marketing techniques that we use. So based on that, I've also combined decision tree models. Now the reason why I went for decision trees is because we're working with a classification problem. We're trying to find out high value customers for the business. Also, this was a structured data set. And as it is a structured data set, it's a supervised machine learning problem, and that is the reason why I went with the decision tree model. Now based on the decision tree models, these are type of customer profiles we should be looking at. And in the next slide, what I've done is I've included a bit of interpretation. Now within this, I've just given a little snapshot. This snapshot comes from the tab we had for our new customer list, and what I've done is used all of these customer profiles, and I've made filters, and from those filters I have filtered all these customers that are high value customers for the business. And yep, that's about it. So this was my PowerPoint presentation, and I have already submitted this. So as the PowerPoint presentation has already been submitted, now we can move towards task 3. Now in task 3, we have to build a dashboard, and if you go on the kpmgforge.com, you can see that they have given us a few resources. So if you guys want to use Tableau or you want to use Power BI, so you can just click any one of them, and there's also a tutorial given there just next to it, so you can click on that as well and look at the tutorial if you guys want to see that as well. But I will not be using Tableau or Power BI for dashboarding. I will be using something known as Google Data Studios. Just go on Google and type Google Data Studio, and it should be the first link. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a blank report. Perfect. Now once you click on blank report, you'll be presented with the similar screen that you can see right now. Now there are two ways to connect your data to the Data Studio. The first way is by uploading the CSV file onto the Data Studio, or the second way is to use Google Sheets and then just connect your Data Studio to Google Sheets. So what I've done is I've already uploaded the dataset called new customer list, because that is the dataset we need to use to build this particular dashboard. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here on my Google Sheets, because I have saved that on my Google Sheets. So as you can see on the right hand side, all the data has been loaded onto the Data Studio. And now, so the first thing I'm going to do is change this to Kpmg dashboard task 3. Perfect. This is something I don't need, so I'm just going to remove that. They have also asked us to use the logo they have given us, so I'm going to attach the logo first. So I'm going to click on images. I'm going to click upload from computer. Perfect. So once you upload the image, I'm just going to put it here. Great. Now the first thing that I would want to see on my dashboard is the number of bike related purchases based on gender. So the way I can present this data is I can click on add a chart, and I can click on scorecard, and I can place this just right here. Let's increase this. Now coming on the right hand side, the date range dimensions, I don't need this. As a metrics, we will be using the bike related purchases, and we'll do some of that. Now what I need to do here is add a filter, and I can do bike related purchases for male, and I'm going to do include, select a field, I'm going to do gender equal to male, and I'm going to put this filter up. Now what the scorecard is going to show me is the total bike related purchases made by males. Perfect. Now I'm going to do the same thing for females as well, so I'm just going to copy that and paste it over here. I'm going to do add a filter, create a new filter, save this. Great. And now we're going to change this as well. We're going to change this from male to female. Great. So once we have completed the total bike related purchases made by males and females, the next thing I want to look at is the total bike related purchases based on wealth segment. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do add a chart, and over here I'm just going to clear out the date range. We're going to change this to, because we work with dimensions, we're going to do wealth segment and the total bike related purchases. Perfect. We don't need any sort of filters here, so that looks okay to me. I'm just going to change this to gray just to match the color schemes. Perfect. That's great. Now another thing that we also saw in our PowerPoint presentation is the industry sectors. Now we saw that the financial services, the manufacturing and the healthcare industry often have a higher bike related purchase. So that's another thing I would like to show on my dashboard as well. So in order to do that, I'm going to create another bar graph over here. Like the previous one, I'm going to clear this out. And over here, what we want is the industry as our dimensions. And for our metrics, we'll be using the bike related purchases. And it's okay, we'll take a sum of that. Great. Now we also see that there are some NA values over here. So what we can do is we can remove this by filter. Exclude. this is from the job industry category. We can do equals to, and we can just put NA. Save that, and then we can just get rid of the NA values, so we don't need that. Great. Now another type of information that I would also like to see is the number of car owned. Now, so what I want to see is the number of cars owned by males and females, grouped by your age clusters. So in order to do that, I'm going to create a pie chart over here. I'm going to get rid of that. Now we're looking at owned cars as our dimension. And here we're looking at gender as a metric. Okay, now there's this U that I do not need in my pie chart, so we're going to remove that U as well. We're just going to exclude gender equals to U. So we can remove U from there, that's fine. Another thing we're going to look at is we're also going to put an age cluster here. So, and I'm going to include age, do between, so this was between 38 and 47. So I want to know how many people. Now the final filter that we want to put here is either the person owns a car or the person does not own the car. So I want to see how many people aged between this age group do not own a car. So for that, I'm going to put another filter here, and I'm going to do include. We can do own cars equal to, I'm just going to put no here. Save. Perfect. So now this pie chart shows us the percentage of males and females aged between 38 and 47 who do not own a car. So looking at this particular pie chart, we can conclude that on average females, 52.5% of the females aged between 38 and 47 do not own a car. Great. Now the next thing I want to do on the first page of our dashboard is to create a table, and this table is going to include the list of all the potential people that we should be targeting from the list of 1,000 people that we have on a dataset. Perfect. Now the dimension that we're going to be working with over here is going to be our gender. Then let's also put first name. I'm going to put first name first and then gender. Then I also want to include the job industry sector. Then I also want to include own cars, and then I also want to include age. Then I also want to include the wealth segment over here, and then I want to include the state, and lastly I want to include the number of bike related purchases. Now the next thing that we need to do here is create filters. So as you can see, currently there are 1,000 people in this data set. Now we're not going to be targeting all the 1,000 people because not all of them are the high value customers. So what we're going to do is the customer profile that we got from our decision tree. So we're going to narrow down the list from 1,000 to only the customers that we are going to target, because those are our high value customers. So the first filter I'm going to put here is I'm going to put the age cluster, because we're only working with age between 38 and 47. Then the wealth segment, Great. So now we're going to get all the customers within the mass customer wealth segmentation. So we have put the age cluster, we have put the wealth segment. Now we need to work with the job industry category as well. So we need to add another filter. And we can get that filter going for us. That's great. And lastly, we're going to work with the state. Now within the states, we are only going to be targeting the NSW and the VIC states. Great. So as you can see, from the 1,000 records that we had for our new customers, we have narrowed that down to 53 customers. So these are the 53 customers who are the high value customers for the businesses based on the results or the summary we got. Great. So our sweet and simple dashboard is ready for submission. So this is only 1 page long, but I feel this has all the information that we need in our dashboard, all the important information that we needed. And most of this information on the dashboard is related to the results we got from our decision tree. So this is the dashboard that I will be submitting off to the Kpmg virtual internship task 3. Great. So if you guys did follow along, I'm sure by now you guys have also received a certification. So congratulations to every single one of you who have managed to complete the Kpmg virtual internship. So great. Once again, guys, thank you so much for being a part of this incredible journey for completing the Kpmg virtual internship. I hope you guys had a ton of fun while solving the Kpmg task. So that's it for this week's video. Once again, thank you so much if you guys have stayed till the end. I really appreciate it. Also, do share these videos with your friends, families, relatives, anyone that you know. So once again, thank you so much, guys. I hope you guys have a great week ahead, and I will see you guys in my next video. Till then, keep learning and keep sharing.